My job, Steve. That's my only job.
It's very important.
I
Very
work a good
important.
deal.
Very important. We've learned. All right, ready?
Been ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is Whatever It Takes podcast. I am Rita Boom 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 Boom. And with me tonight, as always, Miss Anonymous.
Hey, Boom. What's up?
What's going on?
What's going on?
And I love the green on you, by the way.
I hate it.
It's my favorite color. But anyway, all right.
Okay. It's a pumpkin. Look.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I just
Good.
drawn to the color. I thought right there. Stop myself right there.
Green. It's not orange.
You're off the
Remember
wrong-
Designing Women? Remember the show Designing Women?
Yes. The night the lights went out in Georgia. That is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
Probably
Remember-
didn't know, Marjorie, that Suzanne was not just any Miss Georgia. She was the Miss Georgia. She didn't twirl just a baton. That baton was on fire.
Look,
and when she threw that baton into the air, it flew higher, further, faster than any baton has ever flown before, hitting a transformer and showering the darkened arena with sparks.
Look.
And when it finally did come down, Marjorie, my sister caught that baton, and 12,000 people jumped to their feet for 16 and 1/2 minutes of uninterrupted thunderous ovation as flames illuminated her tear-stained face. And that, Marjorie, just so you will know, and your children will someday know, is the night the lights went out in Georgia.
All right, so I apologize. And Misty, how are you doing this evening?
Fantastic. How are you all?
Wonderful, wonderful. What's going on, ladies? How are you?
Yeah, we're good. Who's this guy here?
All
right.
right, I had this whole thing, right, where I was gonna be like, "Hey guys, what's your superpower in if you had one?" And you'd be like, "Oh, duh, 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 duh." I was gonna be like, "Mine is recovery. Recovery is superpower." And where did I get the sticker? At the summit that I went to last Friday. And what am I doing this Friday? I'm going to a GA summit, and I'm going with our friend Steve here, and to make sure that he was not a low key um Buffalo Bill or anything. I'm not a size 16, by the way.
Please don't kill our friend.
We thought we'd hang out with you tonight and see,
Make sure you're safe. I'm good with that.
Yeah. If she cancels in the morning, it
I know it didn't go well.
didn't go well. Didn't make the cut.
And by the way, this is my idea, because I mean, I don't feel like you two were really concerned about my safety, but we'll talk about that offline.
I don't know.
So, Steve, what's going on, my man? How you feeling?
I'm so tame. You have so little to worry about.
Well, we're not, so it should be a good interview.
Excellent.
Right? Yeah.
So how you doing, Steve? How you feeling?
I'm great.
How's these 24
Everything
hours?
sucks,
Yeah.
and I am great.
Nice.
That's my existence at 5 months and change into this this process.
5 months and change. That's pretty good, really.
Yeah.
Hey, right?
Yes, I think standing ovation. Honestly, you want to know why? Those first days and months, those are hard to get because you're like, what in the hell? What's going on? A, with my brain. B, I have no money. Where am I? The whole thing. I wouldn't want to go through it again.
Everybody hates me.
Everybody hates me. Yeah, still the same old shit. Anyway, yeah. It's hard. So congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. It was not easy, and it was not quick, and the pain is all still there. But
Like, what brought you here? Because I can't believe it's just
wow.
meeting you. Like,
Okay.
how long did you gamble? Like, all of it.
As the brain fog clears, you remember things that I remember
Amen.
things I wasn't in touch with.
Mhm.
So I remembered being 9 and going to Dad's buddy's house for the Super Bowl, and Dad put a Super Bowl pool pick in my name, and I hit, and it was, I don't even know what it was. It
You
was
were
nothing.
screwed after
You were
that.
screwed at 9. You were screwed
It was
at 9.
like
First win.
$5 bills, I think. But at 9, and if we're going to be honest, 9 is also when I was introduced to nicotine and cannabis.
Okay.
Oh,
I was that guy. I was that guy.
oh, bless your heart.
And my first salvation, if such things actually exist, but the first, that was Steve 1.0. I'm working on 3.0 because
This is good.
1.0 got uninvited back to high school after halfway through my sophomore year and had to go.
Where'd you grow up? Where are you from?
Maplewood South Orange school system is where I was then.
Is that New
Come
Jersey?
on, Maplewood,
North Jersey, Essex County, dead center.
Okay, because these guys, that's Texas and that's North Carolina. We got them from all over.
So they didn't invite me back, so I instead enrolled in a place up in the hills of Massachusetts. I'll say its name so at least you three, if you get actually curious, can look it up because it was quite a controversial joint in the end, and it got shut down. But for me, in the early years of the program that I was there, it saved my life.
Wow.
Saved my life, grounded me. Did I get a high school education? No. They weren't worried about the schooling part. We went to class every day, took tests, wrote papers, but therapy was the key, and that's all they really cared about.
A dead man doesn't need math.
That's right.
Really, a live man doesn't need math.
Not these days.
So I went through that, got out of there in about 3.5, 4 years, and got on with life. I was doing well. Then I found sports gambling.
Mm.
And
FanDuel?
when I came out of the hospital, I swore 3 ways from Tuesday that my gambling was really only the past year. As the fog lifts, I remember things. I remember the sports gambling, and I'm gray, so it was a bookie. We drove to Tuesday afternoons, had to drive 45 minutes to meet in the parking lot of a funeral parlor, no lie. And I remember my last sports bet. It was a New York Giants, Dallas Cowboys, Monday Night Football.
Don't tell me you bet against the Cowboys.
Of course I did, Texas lady. Of course I did. I'm from Jersey. I'm a New York Giants fan, which is the most depressing fandom in the history of fandom of all sports. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Anyway, and I had bet on the Giants, and it was an overtime decision, and I sweat through the whole game, and I had more money than I should have had at that. A month's rent. Planted on this match, this game, and I was sitting there with this new girl I was dating, sweating.
Making a great impression. Yeah.
This is pre-cell phone, so it wasn't like I could be checking the phone. I'm just glued to the TV, and I'm with this lovely young lady who eventually became my wife and then became my ex-wife. But that's its own piece.
You must have won.
And I did win. I won, and I never bet on sports that way. A bet on a game with a spread again.
Why?
Good for you.
It was too.
It scared me to death.
What did you do, to go to the casino and start over? Or?
Listen, casinos became so much of our life. First of all, I married into an Italian Catholic family. So Pacino and bingo and things like that were always going on for pennies, nickels, dimes, every party. I trained all 3 of my kids to be compulsive gamblers. And luckily, there's only one, and he's in pretty good shape. Yeah, it was always part of the life, and everywhere we went on vacation was near a casino.
Yeah,
I didn't remember that until a month or 2 ago, where everything was wrapped around casinos. And in New Jersey, you had Atlantic City, and then you had the Indian ones up in Connecticut. And I would binge. Oh, I did skip the 3 weeks I spent in Reno for business training. that I wrote half a dozen bad checks.
Mm.
Because again, this is pre-ATMs. This is pre all that stuff.
Did it
Which
cost
means
you money?
You walked up to the hotel you had paid for by check and gave them a check and they would cash it for you.
Wow. So this is way back then.
That's what I'm saying. I pretended it was just a dopamine addiction and I really don't have a problem with gambling. I had convinced myself that this was new. I'm going to admit here, and the missus caught me.
The first time she caught you?
Only time she caught me.
Only
Only time I'm aware of. Only time I'm aware of. I am sure my lies did not go unnoticed, but may not have known what was driving the lie.
Right. We think we're so clever.
Yeah, it's so smart. The addict mind is.
All that did was made you sneakier.
It drove me
For that
further
too.
underground. I found
Right.
I had to. If I couldn't teach my kids how to have a successful wedding and marriage, I was sure as hell going to teach them how to have a successful divorce.
Very
I
nice.
decided that early, and my kids were grown up out of the house. I mean, the last kid was all but out when we got divorced, and I'm sorry.
How many?
Gina,
How many kids?
3 kids.
How long have you been
I
divorced?
got a 30, a 28, and a 27, or a 30, a 29, and a 27, depending what month this is.
In the
And we
20s.
just banged it out quick. It was like, hey, you want to have 3 kids? Okay, boom, boom, boom. Let's be done with it. And we actually planned one of them, which is really awesome.
How long have you been divorced?
Wow, 5 years?
Okay.
4 or 5 years now.
So she wasn't a gambler at all. She didn't gamble?
No, she liked the slots. You know, but we would go, in the beginning, I'd be at the poker table having a grand old time and they'd want to switch casinos. And I'd be like, I remember once I was sitting so pretty. I was in the zone. I had the body hum going. I'm just winning. I can read every idiot at the table because I'm that good.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're going to walk down to the end of the boardwalk. And I'm like, oh. Just marched down there pissed off, only to have one of my son's friends' parents hit on us. True story.
On us?
On us, on the wife and I. They made it very clear that they were interested in a trade or
Had that situation one.
Like to walk on the boardwalk.
we got to a bar, everybody started drinking, and you know where that shit can lead to. And so that was very interesting. And I can't say names because my kids will probably see this, and I don't want them to know which one of their friends' dads propositioned dad.
Yeah.
We'll get a phone call.
You can figure it out, kids.
Yeah.
But
process of elimination.
yeah, so yes, it's been a problem. I've been bad with money. I've been bad with gambling. I've been bad with online games. I've been bad with all that my whole life and hid it so successfully from myself that even when my inability to stop gambling drove me to plan, plot, and schedule my own death, that I still didn't know it. It took months.
You were a functional alcoholic, functional gambler. You're a functional gambler.
I truly was.
So what made you go, damn, I've got to quit?
True story. October of last year, I hit a monster. And at this point, my penny slots had graduated to $10 slots, and I was just absolutely out of control.
Right.
I got hired for a job I was not qualified to do that paid a lot of money. And I did the best I could for it, and in the end, they cut me loose as well. Damn, they should have.
Mm-hmm.
But so I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life, and I'm single, living in a 1-bedroom apartment in New Jersey. Hackettstown, to be exact. And
where you're at?
I win. Paid off all my credit cards, which, by the way, just to share what a degenerate I became. That's the stack of cards I have maxed out
familiar.
at this moment.
God, I love that.
Guilty.
At this moment, I keep it there. I want to see it. I need to remember. Pain keeps me sober, man. Absolutely does.
Mhm.
But yeah, I just paid off all my debts, got even, told my I told my oldest son, and he was like, Dad, that's great. This is your chance. You can be done. Because I had talked about Gamblers Anonymous
Okay.
before that point and all this stuff. But I'm like, the dream,
Yeah.
the ultimate dream occurs. I could start over. Needless to say, by the time I came out of the fog in February, I was twice that amount of money in debt.
Yeah.
Credit cards, tribal. If you could get a loan on the internet in minutes, I had that loan.
Oh,
And I unfortunately was making so much money and could prove it that they just kept giving me more.
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Yeah.
It was a train wreck. And so literally I don't know what December was like. I don't know what January was like. I was in a fog. Total fog state. I have no memories. I have no memories of this past Christmas. None. Zero. Zilch. Nothing. Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, no clue. All right. Long story short, I came out of the fog and I'm like, oh, why is my credit cards not working? Fucking genius.
Yeah.
There's no money in my bank account. My 401k is empty. I took all the amount of money they would lend me out already.
Mm.
Savings, the bank closed it. It had been empty or negative for so long at that point, the bank freaking closed the account on me. I didn't know. I wasn't even aware. Who knows the last time I checked in? Because that money came in on a Friday, 2 weeks worth of pay, and it would either last 45 minutes.
Right.
Or if I'm lucky, I hit Monday because then I put gas in the car and maybe bought some like sandwich meat or something, ramen noodles for my kitchen.
Right.
And I beat myself for 13 days for being such a piece of crap, for being such a helpless, hopeless, disgusting, despicable creature. And I'd bargain and I'd pray to a God I still don't believe in.
Mm.
And I would just stand in the mirror and bargain and beg, and the money would hit and I'd go, well, maybe if I just use this much money, just this, that's all I'll do. And whether it was 45 minutes later or Monday and I had food in the fridge, it was the same thing 2 weeks later, and then 2 weeks later, and then 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I blocked myself. I did self-ban. I have a great buddy I met playing online games, mind you, years ago, who talked me into banning myself online. So I did just for a year. I just, And then I started to really come out of the fog and realized what a pile and mountain of wreckage I had created just since mid-October when I hit that biggie. And it's February 28th, and I don't have a penny. I don't have access to a penny. I don't have a credit card that isn't maxed. There's not a loan company out there that'll give me money. Full disclosure, my daughter, 27-year-old daughter, has a car that her aunt paid for, and she pays her aunt back.
Mm-hmm.
But they put the title in my name for insurance purposes. So I took that title and I got myself a loan against it.
Mm-hmm.
Stealing from your own kids.
Mm.
That's, but I will say at the end of the day, the sickest thing I ever did, and the thing that carries the most guilt and most shame out of all of it, was acknowledging to all of them and to myself that I had somehow lied deep enough to me that I could convince myself that my kids would be okay.
Mm.
My mom and dad would be okay. My sisters, my brother they'd all be okay. They'd be just fine without me.
Mm-hmm.
What horrible legacy I would have left.
No.
That's how I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Costa's his name. which I probably shouldn't say out loud or online, but he said, that's my son, my 30-year-old son. Heard something in his old man's voice.
Aww.
This is Sunday, the 16th of March, 2.5 weeks after I was no longer gambling, because I stopped on that day. I have not placed any bet or version of a bet since then. But he heard something in his dad's voice, and he knows I worship my oldest sister. I just adore her. She lives in Brooklyn, and he called her, and they came out, crashed my house, did an intervention. Took him 8 hours.
Really?
But they convinced me to go to the hospital. I was done. I mean, I don't want to be dramatic, and it's not about pity, but the letters were written. I had a sign on the bathroom door that if any of my kids came in, that they were just to dial 911, do not open this door. I researched every way to pull the plug.
Mm-hmm.
No painless way. So it was going to be me and a razor blade in my bathtub, and I was just going to float away.
The things that you're saying here resonate so much with me and with Rita. Thank God Misty didn't get that far. So you're not alone. You're actually in a really safe place. And that's why it's the number one out of all the A's, out of all the addictions, it's gambling that so many people try it. And you say legacy. I felt the same way. You said you wanted it with no pain. Rita felt the same way. And I'm almost more ashamed of that than I am the gambling.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you did you go into a behavioral health facility, or did you go into
No, I went to Morristown Memorial Hospital. I was there.
I don't know if you went to like a rehab for
8 to 10 days on the psych floor.
Did you ever go to rehab for gambling?
No.
Okay. Was that ever offered to you?
It was not.
That's what's messed up. That's what's disturbing is the fact that we we live in New Jersey, and 800 Gambler is supposed to assist people with gambling problems. I made it very fucking clear why I was in where I was at that night, when Ryan came up to me. But that wasn't offered to you, and it wasn't offered to me. It was immediately go right to a behavior health facility.
It wasn't offered to me, but at this time I didn't understand addiction or gambling. And while
they're supposed to in Jersey offer it to compulsive gamblers. That's what the whole 800
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just saying, like, it's not, more it's all about it's a business just like anything else.
And yes, and even
it's sad.
in 3 weeks of the 5 days a week, every day, all day of PHP, followed by 6 weeks of IOP 3 times a week.
Do you have a sponsor? Do you mind me asking?
No, you are welcome to ask, and I don't. And I'm going to share with you why.
Okay.
Yes, this will be interesting.
I have, when I came clean with my family members in the hospital, I knew I had to come 100% clean. I had to tell them the whole story. I had to use the dollar amounts. I had to tell them what I did with Molly's car. I had to admit it, because I knew if I left one thing out, I would use that later to beat myself and say they wouldn't forgive you if they knew this, Steve. So I made a point of just putting it out there, everything that had happened in the past 5 years.
Very brave.
Yeah, it's very brave.
And it was huge. It was just huge. It was so freeing. And here's what I believe about step 4, I don't know. 9.
Sponsored, no.
I'm on step 1. I'm a step 1 guy. I got it firm. It is solid. There is no concern there. I am helpless, hopeless, and powerless. And that is without a doubt. And I found a greater power than myself in these rooms, in this program, with folks like you in the fellowship. I got no God otherwise. It is. This power has proven itself to me. I am sober. I'm in abstinence. I got a little bit of recovery because I'm not depressed. I feel better. I'm excited about the prospect of the opportunity to maybe put myself first for the first time.
Mhm.
Maybe.
So are you active? You're not actively looking for a sponsor? Did I hear that correctly?
Oh, geez. This is the hard part. I get a lot of grief for this from a lot of people.
I'm
Uh,
not judging. I'm
no,
just
no, no, no. It's okay.
We're
I
just
don't.
curious
I
your name.
get it. I understand it, and especially from those outside the program. I have
Mhm.
several therapists in the family tree,
Yeah.
and their experience is without a sponsor, there is no recovery. So she is.
Mhm.
And that's the woman I live with, my 81-year-old aunt who took me in when I got evicted,
Uh,
kept me from sleeping in my car. God bless her. Yeah.
I heard you share about this one time, and it's actually why I reached out to you because you were afraid that nobody on this earth would be able to hear your step five and still look you flat in the eye.
I
Mhm.
I did some really terrible shit as a kid, especially my 9 on. Yeah, right. I get it. I'm discovering, emerging, evolving, growing brain being stunted by cigarettes and pot.
Mhm.
And the occasional alcohol and all the shit that went with it. I mean, acid and, I beat cocaine in the 90s, it's.
Well, what if I told you that the reason I did reach out to you is because I know that person that you should, and I mentioned it to Misty and to Rita, and we were all like, "It's spot on." Because my sponsor, he, we have been through it all, every step. I told him everything, and in turn, he told me everything to make me feel more comfortable. I don't think that there's number one, anyone in the program who knows these steps as well as him because he also has a dual addiction in AA for 34 years. So not only did he teach me GA, he taught me out of the AA Big Book as well. And not only that, but his sponsor above him, same situation. So when I just saw the peace that this man had, I was like, I'll have what he's having, you know?
Make it a double.
Yeah. And you don't know me, I don't know you, but I know him. And if there's going to be anybody, it's going to be this guy that I'm thinking of. So when you're ready,
Yeah.
you reach out to me and just give it a try because it will change your life.
It terrifies me.
It does.
Terrifies me to
It
share
cares.
that shit with another human being.
Same. It was the same with me. And I had that step five and it was an all day deal because I had 33 resentments. I had,
Yeah.
and we worked through every one of them. I
Wow.
could not believe when they talk about a spiritual awakening and the promises of the program. I'm like the mouthpiece of it now because not only have I seen it in him and his sponsor, but I felt it in me. And there was no like in me my whole life ever. If
I'm
there's
very
one guy, it's this one.
Yeah, I have to agree with Miss Anonymous immensely, and it looks like Misty Period also agrees. And the beautiful thing is you have 4 steps before you get to step 5, so you'll know whether or
I'm
not it's
I'm
going to
arm
work out.
wrestling with two. It's an
Right, so
arm
you got a
wrestle.
lot of steps before you get to that one where you're worried about if you're
Another
going to be able to
reason
handle it.
But
why,
I just know, I believe, and maybe this is just my addict mind. I don't know. I don't trust me. I got no basis of trust in me.
this is why the
That having a sponsor is doing the steps. Why would I need a sponsor? I have mentors falling out my ears. I have phone numbers in my phone. I am branching out
Mhm.
in the fact that I am here.
Get her on whatever it
Boom.
takes. I mean, come on.
You know what I mean? And tomorrow I'm gonna go meet Rita Boom, and
Yeah,
and
Rita Boom.
I'm
I
in
mean,
my
come on.
Vegas room, and
Kind of a big deal now, man.
Lydia's like, I know Rita Boom, I remember. I mean, everybody knows everybody. It's
You
just
hear that a lot, my friend, man. This warning.
so I know, and you, of course, everybody. How could you not know you? You are larger than life. You are the volume of recovery that I look at and go, yeah.
Oh, wait, you see me tomorrow. Wait, I'm on a mission tomorrow. Trying to blow this shit up. So you watch.
I'm all for it.
You watch.
Let's
Bring my
let's
A game
teach these
tomorrow.
teachers something they need to fucking know. I'm in. I'm there.
We're gonna make some friends tomorrow. We're gonna make some friends.
I have no doubt you will. That's awesome. Another reason that I even thought of this person was because of your reluctance in the higher power situation, because he had it too.
I don't think I'm unusual. I don't think I'm abnormal. I don't think I'm unique in any way, shape, or form. And while my story is tragic in its own shape, I have heard worse and worse and worse again. I miss.
Here's
So
what I did. When I found GA, I just said, what do I do? I want what he has. Tell me what to do. And I came all the way in. I sat all the way down, and I listened and I learned. And basically, recovery is a willingness to take suggestions. And I took them all. I mean, I have spirals just full of notes, because I was broke, dead broke, on my face. Just, I had to crawl in here. That's my story's 100 times. When I was about 6 months in, like you, I couldn't say the story. If I ever told the story, I'd have to go to bed for a couple of days. And then I reached out to another podcast and I said, can I tell my story? And they said, yes, come in. So that particular story I told, and it's at 6 months, and I've listened to it one time, and it's the most downloaded story, second most on her podcast, she told me, because I send it to every newcomer who comes through the door. And I'm like, this is where you don't want to be. But I can't tell you what a gift it is. I listened to it not too long ago to listen back and go, wow, 6 months in, and I still had a little bit of brain fog, and I was still very, very broken. And I can see my recovery since that time. And I'm hoping that this podcast at your 5 months, whatever days, does the same for you. That you can look back at 3 years and go, wow, I've come so far. I believe in you.
You probably promote it more than Miss Anonymous promotes our podcast.
Probably. I have
Misty and I really got to pick up the pieces around here,
I have one job.
One job.
That's it.
That's it. We got to renegotiate your season 3, but we live just for today. You're doing a great job. But well, man, this was a great. Man, I'm so happy we met you, Steve. I mean, this has been a great discuss. I feel safe. I feel
where
safe
I'm
meeting
supposed
you
to
tomorrow
be.
now.
I'm where I'm supposed to be.
There's stage 5 vibes. We're good.
we
We're
are.
good. Yeah.
You are absolutely where you should be. I mean, that's what I feel about myself. But I also know that I will do whatever it takes. What about you, Misty, period?
Every day, whatever it takes. How about you, Rita Boom?
Man, I live, breathe, take pauses with whatever it takes. How about you, Steve?
Whatever it takes, one day at a time.
Boom, boom, boom. Hey guys, Rita Boom here. Whether this is your first time listening or you keep coming back, I'm one of the awesome hosts and co-founders of Whatever It Takes nonprofit foundation and, of course, podcast. We started our show on YouTube, and even though we are now part of the podcast elite, we still recommend putting faces to the voices. So go to our YouTube channel and check it out. You can find us at Whatever It Takes Podcasts. So you go to YouTube, you go in the search bar, and you put at Whatever It Takes Podcasts. One more time, just because I talk really fast. Go to YouTube, go in the search bar, and put in Whatever It Takes Podcast. at Whatever It Takes Podcast. And, well, since you're going to be stopping by anyway, don't stop by empty-handed. Show us you were there by sending us a like, a comment, sharing it to your friends, or, well, this should be a given, hitting the subscribe button. So that way you don't miss any episodes. Either way, we're just glad you're here. So thank you. And as always, boom, boom, boom.